everything right, it was you and me.
Hello everyone. Today we have a very exciting video. Well, exciting to me because this feels like the first time in a while a wrap up, like a monthly wrap up. In the past few months I've been doing recent reads where I combine like a few months together, but in November I kind of read enough to do a wrap up on its own, so I was really excited to film this today. I read about 9 books, which is honestly the most I've read in a month in a really long time since school, and I knew I wanted to do a separate wrap-up video for November and December because in December I'm planning on reading around 40 books, so it would just be a lot if I were to combine the two. And especially I just am a sucker for new year content, like December wintry end of year reflection type content, so I just really wanted to do a separate wrap up, and that's what today is. We are going over the 9 books that I read in November, mostly all romances, a few more novellas than what you would usually see, just because I know that the time is almost here and I need to reach my reading goal. So yeah, without further ado, let's get right into all the books that I read in November 2022, which is freaking insane to me because 2022, it feels like it just started, but I digress. The very first book that I read in November is Tempt by Piper Lawson. Valentine PR actually sent this to me and I brought it home, so I don't have the physical copy here, but this one was really cute. It was an age gap nanny. He is a professor at her college and her best friend is like dating his best friend. It's the start of Kat's senior year at college and she's kind of going through a little bit of a identity crisis. She has no idea if she wants to go and get her master's. She has no idea what she wants to do outside of school. On top of that, she has lived with her 2 best friends for years since college started, and they both have long-term serious relationships, so they both decide that they are going to move out of the house or apartment that they used to live in with Kat. So Kat's like, I don't want to live here alone, like this is gonna suck, like my life is going downhill. She reconnects with Daniel, who is the hero. They met in a previous book in the series, which by the way, this is book number 4 in the Off Limits series by Piper Lawson. She kind of talks about what's going on. He's also struggling because he really needs a nanny for his son. Either Kat suggests it, but I'm pretty sure it's Daniel. Daniel's like, you can live here rent-free and I will pay you if you like nanny my son. And it's a romance between those two. It's a little bit forbidden, not crazy forbidden. It's only forbidden because of like the age gap and the fact that he's a professor at her school. Tons of chemistry, so much like small glances and touches, and it's like, oh my gosh, is he into me in that way? Oh my gosh, is she into me that way? And it explodes, and it's a great romance. I rated this one 4 stars. I'm really am interested in going back and reading the other books in Piper Lawson's series. My only complaint with this book was that I felt like the relationship between Daniel's son and Kat could have been developed a little bit more. I'm a sucker for nanny romances and like single dad romances. The woman doesn't, or whoever doesn't have like a good believable connection with the kid, I'm just kind of like, I don't really feel it totally 100%. Heartless, for example, perfect, flawless with that. Like, oh my gosh, see what I did there? There was just a really good chemistry between Willa and Kate's son, so like now I compare every nanny and child relationship to them because they are the best. But anyways, yeah, I rated that one 4 stars. That was the first book that I read in November. Then I read a few Jessica Cade novellas. The first one is My Husband, My Stalker. I ended up rating this book 4 stars. It's a stalker romance. Basically, it's this man, he sees this girl on the news. He's kind of in the mafia, kind of like organized crime. He's basically like the cleaner and fixes problems and like kills people. And so anyways, one day he's winding down after work. He's watching the news and there is a girl's face like flashing on the news and it's saying that she's been found. And he starts to watch it and he's like, he realizes that she was just rescued after being kidnapped for a few months or years. And he sees her and he's like, instantly, she is mine. She is beautiful. She's stunning. Whoever did this to her, I will kill them. Like, da 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 da. One thing she says on the TV is that she's looking forward to normal life. And that kind of like hits him like, crap, like, look at what I do. Look at who I am. I can't be this normal person for her. So a few months flash by and the heroine is now in a new house. And guess who her next door neighbor is? The guy who saw her on the news, and he has a new name, a new life story, a new fake job, and he basically is molding himself to be the perfect person that she would need because he's just so in love with her. He stalks her. Like, his work is mostly primarily at night, so during the day he acts like he's going to work and really just sits in a car and like follows her around. She goes to therapy. He's bugged the therapy room so he could listen in and see if she's actually happy. Just super creepily obsessed with her and stalks her. And you know me, I love a good stalker romance, and I love a good when the hero is obsessed. So yeah, this one was really fun. It was a great time. He stalks her, she finds out. Things aren't good for what, 5 pages, and then naturally, as a romance does, they get back together and everything is all merry and dandy. And this one was super fun because if you aren't familiar with Jessica Cain, she writes novellas, so all her books are incredibly short. Then I read Property of Pops by Jessica Cain, and this one is a severe age gap romance with somebody's grandfather, her best friend's grandfather, and she has never been on a vacation before ever. And so when her best friend from college invites her on her family's vacation, she agrees, she goes. There she meets her best friend's grandfather, and she is wildly attracted to him. He's attracted to her. They sneak around throughout the weekend. They have fun, and it's a really good, it was a fun time. I rated this one 4 stars. Definitely isn't my favorite Jessica Cain novella, but it was hot, smutty, and just wildly entertaining. Like, there was no reason for me to enjoy it as much as I did. It was somebody's grandfather, but it was fun nonetheless. And then I read Quarterback Sneak by Candy Steiner, and this is her 3rd book in the Red Zone Rivals series. These are all college football romances, and they are so stunning, so much fun. One of my favorite books of the year is The Blind Side, and that's the 2nd book in the series. And this one was really good. I rated this one 4.5 stars, and I rounded it up on Goodreads. This basically follows the quarterback of the team, Holden Moore, and it is his senior year. He's really excited about the season. He's getting pumped up. The only thing he's not too excited about is having a new coach his senior year, and it seems like this new coach hates him. Also joining the team is a girl. She is the heroine, 𝓲𝓸𝓬𝓬𝓲𝓪, and 𝓲𝓸𝓬𝓬𝓬𝓪 school to become a physical trainer. So she starts doing like kind of like an internship with the football team, and so she has to help. And the father says one thing: no one look at my daughter, no one touch my daughter, like, be professional. And Holden Moore and his connection with 𝓲𝓸𝓬𝓬𝓬𝓬𝓬𝓬𝓬, they just can't deny their chemistry. 𝓲𝓸𝓬𝓬𝓬𝓬𝓬𝓬𝓬 is very like standoffish and cold in the beginning because she has gone through so much. Her warnings for death of a loved one on both ends. Like, he also has just gone through so much, and so they're really just like kindred souls at spirit. And once they can like unpeel each other's layers and get in there, like, this romance was so beautiful. And it also deals with like substance abuse, so look into that. And just a lot. This book actually kind of had me tearing up a little bit at the end. It was just magic. Forbidden, obviously. They had to sneak around a lot because the father could not know. Otherwise, Holden's whole future is like on the line if the father found out about this relationship. Candy Steiner just writes amazing gut-wrenching smutty books, and I loved this one. Not as much as Blind Side, but this one was a close second. I really enjoyed this one. Then I read another Jessica Cain novella, and that was Enticing the Scrooge. My friend Becca on Bookstagram, she texted me and told me that Jessica Cain dropped a new novella, which, by the way, if you guys know when she like does she drop monthly? Like, somebody put me on her publishing schedule, and like, if there's like some type of way to know whenever a new book is out. I know she probably has a newsletter, I just haven't looked into that. But it seems like everyone's in the know about when she's coming out with a new book or when the book drops, and I don't. I have to wait until I like actually see it. And then when I see it, I'm like, is that an old one? Is that like, I genuinely don't know. So let me know if you guys have any insight on that. Enticing the Scrooge is her new holiday novella. This one was really fun. It's around the holiday season, and we have our hero. He is a descendant of Ebenezer Scrooge, and he needs to get married. Otherwise, he's going to lose his entire inheritance. So he needs to find a wife, and he needs to find her quick. His like butler organized a bunch of like well-known wealthy women to come to the house and kind of be interviewed by the Scrooge guy. And outside, somebody is passing the window, and he sees a girl. He runs outside, and he's like, she's the most beautiful girl I've ever seen. She's beautiful. And when he really takes a deeper look, he can see that she is poor, and she's basically asking for money to bring back to the orphanage. So he instantly is like, she's mine, I'm taking care of her, I don't care. And when the butler went to go ask the other women there about her, they made up so many lies and rumors about her, saying that like she steals from the church, she's horrible news and this and this. Butler goes and tells the Scrooge guy, the hero, and he is pissed and he's like, are you lying to me? Like, I don't care, I'm so attracted to you, I don't care, I just want to know, are you trying to play me? Like, what's going on? And he finds out that she in fact is not lying, but he kind of just lost the girl a little bit because she's like, wow, you don't believe me. And they have to, he like works really hard to get into her good graces. She agrees to marry him. This smut in here was amazing, was so hot. And honestly, it was so funny because the heroine's name is Blessing, and I was like, okay, just like rolling my eyes a bit. But yeah, this one was a really fun holiday novella. This one didn't feel super overly holiday, which is what I like in holiday romances, so this one was fun. And then I finally finished Unbroken by Sutton Snow. So I started this one in August and I finally finished it in November. This one is a novella, so there was no reason for me to take this long to read it. But I ended up really enjoying this one. This one is like primal kink, 4 stars. It also has the boyfriend's father trope. Basically, the girlfriend goes on a camping trip with her boyfriend, and her boyfriend's family finds out that her boyfriend is cheating on her with his like step cousin or stepsister or something weird. She kind of messes around with his father. There was already kind of an attraction there. It got developed when she found out that her boyfriend was cheating on her. So yeah, it's a romance between the father and the girlfriend. It's super hot, primal kink galore. It was crazy. They're in the woods, they're camping, it's forbidden, they're sneaking around. It was a really fun time, a really good novella. And then I finally finished Nikki the Driver by Kate C. Wells. I started this one in September and finished it obviously in November. I rated this one 3.5 stars. So this is book 2 in the Underboss Insurrection series by Kate C. Wells, and I read Run Posey Run and fell in love with that. That was such a good like stalker romance, cat and mouse kind of chase. It was great. And I was really excited about Nikki the Driver just because I really like Kate C. Wells' work. And this one kind of disappointed me a bit. I ended up rating this one 3.5 stars. It follows Nikki and he is a part of the mafia. And then it follows our heroine 𝓬𝓸𝓬𝓲. 𝓬𝓸 and Nikki went to high school together, or like middle school, and he has just always been watching her. He is obsessed with her. He's been stalking her very creepily. She's just kind of like, I'm kind of creeped out by you. Goes on and lives her life. Her family's actually a part of the mafia. They have like ties. They're very low on the totem pole. So basically one night the mafia like breaks into her family's house and threatens all of them unless 𝓬𝓸 goes and marries Nikki. And she's kind of like, she's in a relationship. She also has an eating disorder, so trigger warnings for that. And she just does not want to be in a new place, in a new space with somebody that she's been creeped out by her entire life, and she doesn't understand why she needs to do this, but if it's to protect her family, she's going to do it. So she goes there and she's miserable. I found this book to be a bit boring, but once I got really into it, I couldn't put it down. Nikki has been stalking her during his developmental years, and he knows all the good, the bad, and ugly about 𝓬𝓸, and he still was so in love with her. He knows about her eating disorder. He knows about that she will literally wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning, go on a 5-mile run. He has seen the worst parts of her, is what she would describe herself, and he just like loves her so unconditionally and so wholly. So I don't know, I enjoyed this one. I did, but I did think it was a bit boring, especially when you have like Run Posey Run, which was like literally on the edge of your seat the entire time, and then you go to Nikki the Driver. It was just okay. Like, it was fine. It was 3.5 stars, a little bit better than fine for me. I thought the smut was great. I thought that his love for her and obsession for her was great. But other than that, it was just kind of meh. But I'm super excited because the 3rd book in Kate C. Wells' like werewolf series, I think it's called The 7 Packs, comes out in December 26th, day after Christmas, and I am so excited. Those werewolf books that she writes, they get me. They are so good for no reason. So I have something to look forward to from her very soon. And then I read A Very Krampus Holiday. This was literally 12 pages. I found out about this book because I was watching my friend Heather on Hia Booktubes. I think it was her November TBR, possibly. And she was talking about A Very Krampus Holiday. And when she said it was 12 pages, I was like, oh yep, getting this right now, because it still counts as a book. I rated it 3 stars. It was basically just like a holiday short. Oh, it's not even a novella, it's like a short. This girl basically just committed some ultimate sin around the holidays, and she was always told these rumors that Krampus would come and punish you if you did anything bad. So when he actually comes, she's not expecting the type of punishment she gets. She gets hot, fun monster smut, and it's a great time. I enjoyed it. I gave it 3 stars. It was what it was, and it was 12 pages, and it counted as a book, so I had to read it. And then this one, I actually finished this one on December 1st, but I would like to count it as a November read because I literally read it right on the cusp. I read *Tis the Season for Revenge* by Morgan Elizabeth, and I fell head over heels in love with this book. I rated it 5 stars, and that's why I'm saying like my holiday era is in, because I was not a holiday romance book lover at all. Like I was not into that at all. That just wasn't my jam. But finding the right angsty holiday romances are great, and it's been a really fun time. So *Tis the Season for Revenge*, we have our heroine, and she's been in a relationship with her boyfriend for the past 4 years. She's super in love with him. She has like just altered her life to be the perfect girlfriend. She does makeup at a department store. He's like a big shot lawyer, and so she's naturally felt like she needed to be the best girlfriend in every way. Horrible boyfriend to her. He constantly told her that she needed to lose weight. She had blonde hair. She dyed it brunette to like be taken more seriously. Just all of these things to be the perfect girlfriend and possibly become the perfect wife. And so she feels like he is about to propose to her. He is about to be named partner at his law firm. It would just be the perfect time for him to propose to her. The holiday Christmas party that his office throws. So he finally invites her to the Halloween holiday office party, and she gets dressed up. She's super excited. She's finally invited to one of his office party events. He comes to pick her up, and she's in a cute little bunny costume, and literally he's like, we're done. I'm like, how dare, why would you dress this way? Like, I'm taking you to meet the people that I see 24/7. Like, I'm done with you, you're immature. He just goes in on her, and she is heartbroken. She's like, I was expecting you to propose to me in 2 months, and now you're pulling this shit. And her best friends have known that this guy is like literally so ass. Like, they just hate him. And so when she calls him, is like, he broke up with me, they come right away and they start drafting a revenge plan. So they come up with ideas to like glitter in his air vents, to just ruin his orders, because he was basically using her as a personal assistant the entire 4 years, and she never realized it until she realized she had access to everything in his life: his doctor's appointments, his coffee order, this and this, his laundry, whatever. And so like literally she decides to play some pranks on him and to get her revenge. She also joins a dating app the night that he breaks up with her, and she thinks it is perfect fate when she comes across her ex-boyfriend's boss on the dating app. And she was like, I'm gonna F his boss. Like, I'm literally gonna hook up with him, and he is going to regret the day that he was born. She ends up going on a date with him, and they hit it off a lot. She goes back and forth with like, I feel bad, like I don't want to use him, I really like him, he likes me. But at first it was casual, and now I don't know what it is, and it's becoming a lot. And this book was phenomenal. There was no annoying third act breakup. This just was so much love and understanding, and also so healing. She went through so much in her relationship over the past 4 years with that guy, and like literally it was like her hell, but she didn't realize it was her hell until she was out of it. And so to have like a Damien, who is the hero, be on the complete opposite side of the spectrum and just really love her unconditionally and celebrate her constantly, it was like such a healing book. Healing for me, and it was healing like just reading about her, and it was amazing. It was truly such an amazing book. So yeah, I rated that one 5 stars, and it's definitely probably one of my favorites of the year, but we will get into that, all of my favorites, later in December. So that was the last book that I read in November. Let me know your guys' favorite books that you read in November. What did you read? Did you find any new favorites? Did you read a book that you didn't like so much? Let me know. I want to know all of the tea on what you guys have been reading. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I love you all so incredibly much, and I will see you very shortly with a new video. Bye.
If I got one thing right, it was you and me.